you after surgery. Veronica, another parcel has arrived. Don't make a habit of it. Hirstedt, er ist ein Rotzer in der Gemeinschaftsgemeinde. Reinde Dop. Now, to the meat of the evening. This is a time of year at Whitegates for a house play, but this year I have been slightly revolutionary, as they say in Bolshevik Russia. A, I've written a play myself and make no apologies for it. I've written myself and is the maid. And B, there will be parts in our production for boys. I did not come to this decision lightly, but this is 1936. Times are changing, and in any case, many of you have got brothers, so you know what they are. I did not feel it inappropriate for senior girls, within a supervised framework, to work with boys. So may I introduce from Broxford Hall, Harry Gresham Turner, Richard Merriman, and Thomas White. These chaps have been chosen by their school, and we want to say a big Whitegates welcome. Welcome! But in our welcome, we are mindful that this is an experiment. And I want to make it absolutely plain to all my girls that anyone who jeopardizes this arrangement by silliness, carelessness, or high spirits threatens an experiment that could be far-reaching with its implications. These boys are on the verge of manhood. Who knows what their grown-up years will bring them? What part should we play in their lives? Where do we fit in? And talking of parts, why don't we start our play right now?
That's frightfully embarrassing. She's a sweet day, girl. We'd better check our tuck boxes.
Not now! I've got something stinkingly wicked to tell you. Someone keep caving. Good. This is absolutely dynamite. No one must tell. Cross your heart and hope to die.
Get on with it, Hazel.
I was posting a letter on the back drive when I saw Dr. Bruce driving along Dickey Avenue with the new teacher, Miss Lavender. And she was sitting in the front seat.
Are you suggesting?
But of course! That's not fair. Dr. Bruce is a doctor.
That's true, and he's awfully helpful with cricket. So you see, Hazel.
Cave! You must cave!
The word is caving.
But Miss Frobisher.
Morning, girls.
Morning, Miss Frobisher.
Now, I'd like to introduce you to our new teacher, Miss Lavender, who will be taking you through nature study.
Oh, biology, Miss Frobisher. My training is in biology.
You said you wanted to go for a nature walk.
Oh, but I do.
Yes, well, girls, outdoor shoes will be worn. Try not to get too grubby and keep to the path.
Yes, Miss Frobisher.
You're going to have to help me a little bit, girls. I don't know my way around too well. And that's why I thought a nature ramble might just fit the bill. Biology is everywhere, girls. It's not just a part of our bodies. It's a life force that inhabits the hills and the dales, the cottage through the trees. You will have to excuse me. I do tend to go on a little. Oh, do go on, Miss Lavender. Well, I had heard that there was a rather delightful pond in here. Perchman's Pond. I'll show you, Miss Lavender. I think it would be awfully topping if we all went for a dip. So how's about I meet you at the bottom of the drive in, say, 5 minutes.
She's keen. She's a regular chum.
She's such a woman.
Oh, Miss Lavender, we've so much to learn. The valleys, the fields, the flowers, the birds. Oh, Miss Lavender, your nature in the raw. Teach us, Miss Lavender, more, more, more. Oh, Miss Lavender, we've so much to learn. The birds sing, the bees buzz forever in the storm. Oh, Miss Lavender, there's so much we do. So what's nature and skills your?
A mat, a mamus, a martis,
A mo, a max, a max.
a mamus, a martis.
Oh!
It was a spanking hot day. The fields were alive with the sounds of nature. The girls and their new teacher were taking the path down to Perchman's Pond.
Gosh! Spanking hot day!
Said Lesbia.
What are you playing cricket?
Don't be such a grump. Down, down from that tree. It's not safe.
Said Brenda.
Miss Lavender was pointing out items of interest along the way.
But Rosemary had eyes only for her new teacher.
Gosh! Harry Bittercrest.
Said Miss Lavender. Karamini Hirsuta.
Said Brenda, knowledgeably.
Well, it's wonderful to eat. When I was a girl, we used to chomp on it for hours.
She went on.
And look,
Click.
Meadow Sweet
Philippendula vulgaris.
Added Brenda.
and Comfrey.
Sophiticone officinale.
Brenda, how do you know all those names?
I'm the best girl in the school.
Meanwhile, Hazel was showing off her new camera.
It's frightfully expensive, and it has every gadget you can think of. It's made in Germany.
We're at the pond.
Said Rosemary. Twice.
We're at the pond.
Oh, do come and have a look at the water. It looks so tempting.
Oh, you dive in, Rosemary, and I'll watch from the side. But, Miss Lavender, aren't you going to bathe? I'm awfully sorry, Rosemary. I've hardly had time to unpack, let alone bring my cosy to school.
Rosemary was bitterly disappointed. She had thought of nothing else but the sight of Miss Lavender in her bathing attire, her golden hair flowing freely, her body slipping through the limpid water.
All right. In you go, girls. Hurrah!
But Rosemary had no thoughts of bathing anymore.
Meanwhile, Hazel
Not a good swimmer.
had wandered off to try out her new camera when she saw Dr. Bruce, the school doctor and cricket coach, advancing towards Miss Lavender, who had slipped away from the girl. Click! Click! Click went Hazel's camera. Hazel smiled, turned, and stole quickly away.
I got it! Got it! Got proof! If proof were needed!
She cried, thrusting the camera at the girls.
It's all in there!
But, in her enthusiasm, she let go her grasp on the camera, and it dropped down into the pond. Without a thought, Rosemary dived in to recover it.
What a brick! cried Brenda.
And it has store tops too!
But, like a brick, she dropped. For the old pond had many strong weeds, and they wound their way around Rosemary's body. Try as she might, she was stuck.
Stuck fast. Her chum screamed.
She's right! She's right!
Alerted by their cries, Miss Lavender burst through the bushes and in one leap dived to the aid of the unfortunate girl.
It seemed ages.
Finally, Miss Lavender broke the surface, bearing Rosemary's body in her arms.
Willing hands helped her carry her burden to the shore and lay it tenderly upon a bank.
But Rosemary was deathly still.
She's going to die! She's going to die! I know it!
Cried Lesbia.
But Miss Lavender was in charge.
Control yourself, girl.
I'm going to need your help. Can you give it?
Yes, Miss Lavender.
Hold her steady.
Under the mistress's careful supervision, artificial respiration was begun. For many minutes she laboured over the poor girl, but still, no life.
Brenda gave a stifled cry.
I'm Miss Lavender! Is she?
Just then, an eyelid fluttered.
She moves! She moves!
Cried Gerda.
Indeed, girls, she's coming round!
I'll take over now, if you don't mind.
It was Dr. Bruce.
Gosh! But how? Where?
Stuttered Lesbia.
But why?
Gasped Brenda.
How come?
Said Gerda, ungrammatically. You ran, Sean,
Thank God you were innocent.
said Miss Lavender.
Unconvincingly.
Now leave this to me, old girl.
And Hazel bit her tongue.
Dr. Bruce and Miss Lavender were missing. My photo would have proved they'd been kissing. Then the girls would have seen how right I had been. What's the use of wishing? Rats!
Meanwhile, in the lavatory somewhere in the school.
A mole, a mass, a mat, a marbles, a martis, a man.
Well done, Emily! Now let's go on to the translation.
The Romans were waging war. The Romans were waging war against the Gauls. Julius Caesar having for the Gauls,
False, I suppose.
and the Romans. Did they wage war against the British?
Back chance.
Oh, Polly, I'm such a dunderhead. I'm useless at Latin, hopeless at Greek. You're a natural teacher and I'm a chump. And of course, you so many problems.
You cause me problems.
Oh, Emily, you've sacrificed the best years of your life
Just so that I can have this education.
That's it. And it's no less than
don't you now? And the ring. For God's sake, let's all clear. We're all with a nature ramble anyway. It's not freedom from the shackles of this drudgery.
No, Polly. This is the family ring. I have some honour left. I've learnt that since I've been working here. There is honour in honest toil.
If that's all right, then I've simply got to go to cricket practice now. So I'll see you later for a spotted blue. Catch, Rosemary! Oh, butterfingers, girl! If you want to be in the team, you've got to concentrate! She's absolutely right, Rosie. That was a real dolly. Girl, are you Polly?
Sorry, Brenda. I'm still feeling a little shaky after the incident at Perchman's Pond.
That's no excuse for sloppiness. Carry on.
How's that?
Not act! Steady on, Leslie, old girl. It's not for you to say. Excuse me, then, but the term is, how's that? And not, how was that? She's absolutely right, Gerda. You must get the terminology correct.
Got your team ready for Saturday, Brenda?
I'm still thinking it over, Dr. Bruce.
Jolly good.
Come on, girls, last ball. Good shot, let's go. Hazel! Hazel's your ball, you're not on! Oh, I just thought Dr. Bruce and Miss Lavender, they were kissing right over there and down, Hazel. Game over. This team is a shambles. I'll draw fielding practice now. Rosemary, you really must back up your ideas. If you want to be in the team, that is. That foreigner is pressing hard.
Promise you won't say.
What?
I'm in love
Yeah,
with Miss Lavender.
I see.
I simply have to tell someone. She's the most beautiful thing that's ever happened to me.
Frankly, Rosemary, old girl, I don't get it.
She saved my life.
Yes? Well,
I'm talking about love, Lesbia.
gosh, I wonder who that is.
I don't know and I don't care.
Girls? Girls! Girls, over here!
Wonderful game, cricket. Brings out the man in you.
Pardon?
Don't pardon me, Miss Lavender.
Well, I don't quite understand.
There's a lot you don't understand. Perchman's Pond?
Ah, yes.
One of our girls almost drowned.
Yes.
A nature animal.
Yes.
And yet you let them go swimming. Thank goodness Dr. Bruce was handy. What schooling did you have?
Well,
People, places?
my parents were stationed in Swaziland.
I see.
I was largely self-taught.
Well, you're in England now, Miss Lavender, and this is a jungle that's been tamed. It is our job here at Whitegates to keep it that way. Do you understand?
Yes.
See yourself out.
But, Miss Frobisher, we are on the cricket pitch.
Don't be bitter with me, Miss Lavender.
Miss Frobisher.
What is it, child?
I've something I have to say.
Well, say it.
It's about Dr. Bruce and Miss Lavender.
Miss Lavender! Well, get it out.
I just wanted to say that... How brave they were at Perchman's Pond.
Well, now you've said it. Now run along. Brenda, bring your people over here, would you?
Rats! Come on, girls.
Now, there's a man over on the boundary who some of you are going to meet. He's just returned from Australia, and that country has good reason to remember him, for he thrashed them soundly at cricket. That's right, Lesbia, it's J.D. Craddock. What's he doing here, you ask? Well, to tell you the truth, he's my long-lost nephew, and he's just visiting for a few days. And he's agreed to give the first 11 some coaching before they play the boys at Broxford Hall.
Boys?
That's right, Brenda. J.D. has been watching you practicing, and he's impressed. He believes that we can beat Broxford.
We can! We can!
That's the spirit, Lesbia.
Thank you, Miss Frobisher. Right. We'd better get our wipes in. We want to look our best. The match. Lesbia, laundry bag. Team off. Polly. Polly, you played splendidly today. I'm going to try you in the galley next week. Thank you, Brenda. Sorry about that spot of bothering door. No hard feelings, eh?
No, Brenda.
Good. Gerda. Gerda, let the ball do the work and the back do the talking. See what I mean?
Yes, Brenda.
Hazel, all over the place. Rosemary.
Yes, Brenda.
Rosemary. You could be good. Damn good. But do you really want to be?
Yes, Brenda.
I wonder sometimes. Brenda? I thought I was meant to be captain of cricket. You are, Les, you are. Well, everyone talks to you as though you're the gaffer. Why is that? Something which has puzzled me, Les. Why is it? Why do people instinctively look up to me? Help me, someone. Ching, 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 ching. I'm the best girl in the school. Ching, 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 hot, ching, ching, I ching, ching, ching. I'll swim 10 lengths of any pool. Ching, ching, but I'm fair. Ching, ching, you break the rule. Ching, ching, ching. I'm Brenda. She's Brenda. I'm Brenda. Oh, Brenda, Brenda Diamond, and she's the best girl in the school. I'm Brenda. She's Brenda. I'm Brenda. Oh, Brenda, everyone's perfect you. Do see what you mean. Ching, ching, ching.
Dust.
Prep's over, and the girls are thinking about going to bed. In 2s and 3s they dawdle in the quad, taking the night air before turning in.
All the events of another exciting day.
But there's a light on in the east wing.
A woman and young girl moving down the corridor towards the study.
Which is your study, Rosemary? At the termination of the corridor, Miss Lavender.
Rosemary is too excited to speak properly. Potty, if you ask me. Shh.
It's uncommonly kind of you to accept this invitation, Miss Lavender.
It's her first crush.
First pash.
I'm right. Shh.
You don't have to be so formal with me, Rosemary. Can I call you Kitty?
But she couldn't, and Rosemary knew it.
Well, this is an awfully big study, Rosemary. It's not mine. It's Brenda's.
I'm quite big.
You would if you had to clean it.
This is mine. Oh. Well, it's lovely. En zijn licht en bemoediglijke avond van roze en rood. Het jonge meisje voelt zich terstond opgetogen, opgewonden door haar warme nabijheid. Just wanted to say thank you for saving my life, Miss Lavender. Ik wilde je graag bedanken dat je mijn leven gered hebt. It's my pleasure.
Oh, sorry if I startled you. I wonder if I could see you for a moment, Miss Lavender.
Rosemary was just showing me her room. What is it, Ken?
I need to see you.
Oh, and what needs did you have in mind?
What are you doing in here?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Look, some money's been stolen from College House. And Frobisher wants some action.
What's that?
Latin's silly.
I know that. But who is it at this time?
Please.
Let's investigate.
Lighten our darkness, we beseech thee, O Lord.
Rosemary, are you all right?
And by thy great mercy, defend us from the perils
and danger of this night.
Rosemary,
O Lord God, when thou givest to thy servant to endeavour any great matter, grant us also to know that it is not the beginning, but the continuing of the same unto the end, until it is thoroughly finished, which yieldeth the true glory. You're late, Rosemary.
sorry, ma'am.
Amen. It's not easy being head of house, particularly when something distasteful has to be discussed. I want to talk about money, a pretty unpleasant subject at the best of times. But I feel it needs to be raised because money is missing, presumed stolen. Gerda has lost £2, 17 shillings and sixpence from her tuck box. Now, that's a lot of money for a foreign person. But that's not the point. This school is built on loyalty. This house is built on trust. We are the bricks. We are the mortar.
You made this up yourself, Brennan.
Shut it. The point is, Miss Frobisher wants the culprit in her office by tomorrow morning, or the whole house is gated until further notice. That means no exits, no rambles, no cricket.
What?
Quiet! The honour of College House is at stake. There is a thief in our midst, and we must seek her out and show no mercy. Look around. Square up to your chums. Look them in the eye. Do you see a Judas there? Well, carry on.
I wouldn't want to tell tales or get anyone into trouble.
You're amongst friends, dear.
You remember we found Polly lurking about in the dawn?
Yes?
Well,
She means Polly is a thief. It figures. She is a day bug.
Leslie, how could you be so beastly?
Life is beastly sometimes, Rosemary. Anyway, bedtime, everyone. Coco's cancelled. Lights out in 5 minutes. Do you think Polly's the thief? Probably. It all seems to fit. Pity. You're too soft, Bren. It's not that. I'd chosen her for the cricket team. Oh, I see what you mean.
Certain information has arrived on my desk. I'll come straight to the point. Gerda has had some money stolen from her dorm on Tuesday. You were seen on that day in that vicinity. What do you say? Speak up, girl.
I was in the dormitory.
What were you doing there? You know perfectly well it's out of bounds today, girls.
Yes,
And you deliberately flouted the school rules.
yes.
Very well. Let me put to you another question. It has been reported that you spoke to one of the domestics. What possible reason could you have for speaking to a servant? Well, I take it from your silence that you admit to stealing the money. You're a thief and a ne'er-do-well. There's little a school like ours can do for a girl like you. I won't bandy words. I won't even cane you. I just want you to leave. Simply go.
Miss Frobisher,
How dare you burst in on me?
It is important, believe me.
last night Dr. Bruce and I came across Emily declining Latin verbs in her study book.
We don't have an Emily. She's a servant. Come to the point.
Emily is Polly's sister. Emily works here so that Polly can continue to be educated at Whitegates.
It's a long story, but their parents were killed last year in a tragic accident.
The girls were penniless.
So, Emily decided to take a job here at Whitegates to see her sister Polly through school. And Polly shared her education, her Latin and Greek.
To make it up to Emily.
These girls are no thieves, but heroes!
It was me! I did it! I stole the money!
You, Hazel? Why you, of all people? What did you say? I missed it.
I did it! That camera was not mine. I borrowed it from my sister without her permission. When it got lost in Perchman's pond, I was so desperate I stole your money, Gerda. Emily and Polly, you are an inspiration. I only wish I could be as kind to my sister.
Don't worry, Hazel. These things happen. I forgive you.
No, Gerda, that's not all.
I've only got you. You've only got me. Together we're family. Now everyone knows and everyone sees. Together, together we're family.
I was just oiling my bat in the clubhouse. I had this incredible music. I just had to come over and see who was singing. Was it you two girls? Now, I'm not normally one for musical appreciation, but in my books that was first rate. Just have to kiss your hands. That ring! Where did you get it? Does the name Seaton mean anything to you?
What is maiden name?
Extraordinary. I was a bit of a tearaway as a child. Ran away from home and toured our world as one does. Eventually I made it at cricket and cricket made me. And you know, girls, I grew up and returned home only to find my parents had died. But now, with this ring, with the family crest, girls, your mother is my sister.
Oh, I'm afraid she's...
What?
Our mother died in a tragic accident.
Too late! I'm always too late!
Nothing's ever too late, JD. We're your family now. I propose to take in these two girls and give them the love and the care that they've been missing.
Thank you, Miss Frobisher.
Is there anything I can do to help?
Of course, JD. Every family needs a man. I've only got you, you've only got me.
Together we're family. Now everyone knows and everyone sees. Together, together we're family. You've only got me. Together we're family. Now everyone knows and everyone sees. Together, together we're family.
It's Lesbia Nightingale, isn't it?
Yes, JD.
Heard a lot about you. Seen a lot of you. from the boundary.
Ah,
And you know, I can see a lot of me in you.
pardon?
The same spirit, the same spunk, that refusal to admit defeat.
Thank you.
And I'd like to help.
What with?
Well, your batting's first rate. I wouldn't want to fiddle with that. But your bowling...
I don't bowl.
No, that doesn't sound like the lesbian nightingale I've heard about.
Really, I can't.
Nor that. Look, what I'm about to suggest might surprise you a little.
What's that, JD?
Have you ever thought of turning your arm over?
You mean overarm bowling?
Yes, it's the last thing the chaps at Broxford Hall would expect. A girl bowling overarm, eh? You know what I mean?
Yes, JD.
They'd be devastated. Would you like me to show you? We're talking about a fulcrum, basically. Now, your Romans knew all about the fulcrum. They built machines which exploited the fulcrum to hurl huge projectiles at the Vandals.
Gosh!
Now you try. Hold it there. Leg up a little, Lesbia. Now we're going to go back as far as we can go. You're like a tight coil, ready to release, ready to explode. Magnificent, Lesbia! We'll thrash the boys at Broxford Hall.
What are you doing?
Sorry?
What are you doing?
I'm making a great bowler of her. I can see it now. A beautiful English summer's day. The sun beating down on a green and turning wicket. The boys from Broxford at the crease. One more wicket to take. 6 more runs to make. 1 more over to go. And the game in the balance.
That's over.
You won't let go.
New bowler, Nightingale, right arm over. Wide.
Line and length, please. Line and length. Okay.
I say, umpire, excuse me, but is that absolutely fair? I mean, overarm bowling, we were given no prior notice.
Absolutely fair, Merriman. Next ball. Not out.
Oh, jeez, Miss Fiona.
Keep up the good bowling, old girl.
Maximum effort. Everything all right, Les? I think so, Brent. I think so.
3 more balls to go.
Yes, come on, aye, sir!
Well done, Herman.
Excellent. Call them off.
No good. I'm finished.
Nightingale, retired, hurt.
Umpire, I'm calling on my reserves. Gary, you take the field. You're bowling.
New bowler, Hallerstedt. 2 more balls to go.
Yes, Lord, right!
God, I'm sorry.
Last ball.
Come on, get out! Come on, girl. I'm finished.
School, hip hop! Hip hop! Hip hop!
Be the one
Well, we're off now. But in a short while, we'll be appearing again in a much bigger performance. A production that will affect most of Europe and our far-flung colonies. And in that second great conflagration, many of the values that we hold dear will be lost, buried beneath enmity and confusion. But perhaps, after a few years, when the dust of war has settled, those same values that we cherish will be dug up, brushed down, dusted off. Thoughts of nationhood, enterprise, discipline, decency, fair play, and a common sense of a natural order of things will return and be an inspiration to our people and our land.